Elongating sounds, derived mads. So we've already covered what the original mads are, and the derived mad is essentially the original mad with some extra rules, in which case the lengths of, or the count of too long will change. And the derived mad is known as mad fara'i, and there are a few different rules that surround this, and we're going to put them here on the slide as a summary. So the first thing to know is if you have the original mad and it's followed by a hamza, or it's followed by a letter that is sakin, then we're going to apply certain rules. So we'll start with when it's followed by the hamza. Now if the original mad is followed by hamza in the same word, then it changes into a derived mad known as mad mutassil. If the original mad is followed by a hamza, but the hamza is the first consonant of the next word, then the derived mad is known as mad munfasil. If the original mad is followed by a sakin letter which actually has a sukoon on it, or if it's part of a consonant which has a shadda on it, which implies that the consonant has a sukoon on it as well, then the derived mad is known as mad lazim. If the original mad is followed by a derived sukoon, then it's known as mad arid lis sukoon. Now the derived sukoon we'll explain in a minute on a completely separate slide. So the lengths then, whenever the original mad is followed by a hamza, whether it's in the same word or the next word, then the count will be 4 to 5 long. If the original mad is followed by a sakin letter or a letter with the shadda, then it must be recited as 6 counts long. And if the original mad is followed by a derived sukoon, then you have the option of reciting it as 2, 4 or 6 counts. So let's go through some examples. So here we have the original mad followed by a hamza, but it's in the same word. So you would recite this as 4 or 5 lengths long. So it would be hum yura'un. The original mad followed by a hamza at the beginning of the next word. Now it takes a bit of practice to pick up whether it's the hamza is in the same word or the next word, but generally over time you can pick this up, or if obviously you know grammar, it'll be much easier for you. So here we have 2 examples where we have a original mad followed by a hamza, which is the first letter or consonant of the next word. So we have inna a'tainaka, and we have alladhi at'amahum. So both of those, again, with your tajweed teacher, he will check when you're doing your recitations that these lengths are maintained. The common mistake is either you shorten them to 3 long or you over lengthen them to 6 long. So the mad lazim is the original mad followed by a sakin letter, and again a letter with the shadda on it implies that there is a letter there with a sukoon on it. So here we have the dad with the fatha alif, which is obviously your original mad, followed by the lam with the shadda, which implies there's a lam with a sukoon within it. So this would be, and this is from Suratul Fatiha, so it should be well known. But this is وَلَضَّالِّينَ. And again, you must make sure that this is kept to 6 long. Now, the original mad followed by a derived sukoon. So the first thing we have to understand here is what is a derived sukoon. So if we go back, you can have letters or consonants with an actual sukoon on top of it, which case it's sakin, or it's part of the letter with a shadda, which implies there's a sakin there, but they will both have with a sukoon there, which means they both have a sukoon, they're both sakin. Now with both of these cases, the last letter when you're stopping at the end of line, so the round circles are the end of line marker here, so the sin and the meme in the two sentences right at the end will become sakin due to the rules of stopping. Hence these are known as derived sukoons, i.e. the sin and the meme do not have a sukoon on them, but it's derived from the stopping rule that they're going to be pronounced as if they've got a sukoon on them. So if you have an original mad which is followed by a letter which is acting as a derived sukoon, you have the option of reciting the original mad as 2, 4 or 6 long. And this will happen when you stop at the end of a sentence marker, or you pause in the middle of a sentence, in which case it acts as if there's a end of sentence marker. The only thing to be careful here is for any particular surah, if you decide to do these 2 long, then you must maintain this across the entire surah. If you do it 4 long, likewise maintain 4 lengths across every line that you stop on in the surah with this rule. And if you do it 6 long, then again you have to maintain 6 long. So just to emphasize then, you can do this as 2, 4 or 6 long, and different reciters do these with different lengths. And that covers most of the derived mads, which are derived from the original mad when certain rules apply. And your instructor, your tajweed teacher, they will check that all these rules are applied and they're consistent across your recitation.